everyone, this is day 79, building a house every day for 100 days. Before we get into it, I just want to thank you guys for all the support recently. Channel's been doing really well. I really appreciate it. You know, a lot of new people joined the Discord in the last few days. A lot of new people checking out the shorts and like the streams and everything. So yeah, I really appreciate it. Let's get into the house here though. Built this one live, so you know, if you don't want to miss those streams, make sure to subscribe down below. Probably gonna go live tonight, maybe not. We'll see. Get into the house here though. Talking to chat, I kind of decided I want to do like a tall house. Other than that, I didn't really have anything planned in specific. Like I wasn't exactly sure what kind of block pile I was gonna use, so I'm kind of trying to figure that out right here. Just getting the frame in with this red wool. I know I want to use spruce. Kind of like a foundation layer of stone bricks as well, and probably a white base. I didn't know what I wanted to do with the roof yet. See, I'm just getting the walls in here. Just filling everything in. Real quick as I'm building this house is dedicated to my patron Aelic. I know he already got a house dedicated to him before, but he stopped by the stream, he donated some money. I really appreciate it. So, you know, this house dedicated to him. Doing a house dedicated to you, along with the schematics for every single house and build I build for this channel. It's just $3. So yeah, you know, $3 on the Patreon down below. I'd really appreciate it. You don't have to support, obviously. Just watching is honestly, you know, really appreciate that. Yeah, back to the house here though. Getting the frame in. Decided to go for this like really tall roof. Kind of like weird proportions on it. Getting this side section as well. Just fill everything in. I use cyan wool here. I'm gonna go back and texture it. I kind of overuse cyan in my opinion, but it's just like a really nice block. I really like the color. I also like the way it kind of blends with dark oak and spruce, and like these white blocks I use for the main part of the house. So, you know, just keep filling everything in. Head around the back here, get the frame for like this back part of the house. A lot of just filling in blocks at the beginning of this video. It's like a very large house. It might be the biggest house I built in terms of like size of the interior, kind of like the true size of the house itself. Not 100% sure on that. Finish the right side now, onto the left side. Got like a different shape over here. And a different shape, different size. Kind of, I don't want the house to be too symmetrical or anything. So, you know, the left roof is kind of smaller. It's a bit higher. The right roof is kind of bigger and lower. I don't want to do like some kind of like, some more verticality too. But I just haven't decided yet. Start working on this tower in the middle. Talking to like, you know, viewers live that they kind of agreed could use a tower. At first I was going to build like a frame like the rest of the house, but I decided instead just make it like flat and do a lot of texturing to kind of make it stand out and like look good. So just fill everything in for now. At first I kind of go for like just like a normal like roof, and then I kind of also try this like, you know, like four side kind of cone sort of roof shape. I come back later. You might have saw in the thumbnail. I do like a point at the end. Well, not at the end. Like in a minute here, I come back and do a point. But for now, it'll kind of look bad. It'll just look like this. You know, getting the shape in here. I wasn't really happy with how this was coming along. I decided to kind of add these like smaller, like purely aesthetic towers. Kind of similar to what I did on day 60. These two towers are like purely like visual. They don't actually like have any, there's no way inside of them or anything. So you'll get the right one done, start on the left one. You know, trapdoors, slabs, and stairs, kind of just like give them like a frame before just going up with them. Like I said earlier, go back, I scrapped this middle tower, rework into a point, kind of use a similar design, if not maybe the same design I used on day 60. I just really like it though. Not gonna fix what's not really broken. Kind of like classic. Get these like front windows in. on the roof. Start with this one on the right, one on the left. Again, kind of different sizes, you know, different heights. There's some variation in it. Guys, I'm building this. If you're interested in joining my Discord, there's a link down below. A lot of people talk about like Minecraft builds and stuff in there, so you know, if you're maybe interested in talking to some other people about Minecraft or just, you know, talking in general, you know, link down below. I'd really appreciate it. Back to the house here, though. I get this like large like stained glass window in the front. Blue, cyan, and light blue as well. Just kind of like, I think it looks pretty good. Kind of fills the space up. Brings some blue to like the rest of the house other than just the roof. I get a similar one on the right here, except I use glass panes instead of glass. I'm liking the shape of the house at this point. Still looks kind of bad because I got to texture everything. I got to texture all this white wall kind of space. I got to add like lanterns, flower pots, that kind of stuff. So like right now, still kind of looks pretty bare. Kind of bad, honestly. So I start getting the texturing stuff out. Go from polished diorite to calcite, and then concrete powder and wool. Not too much of like a pattern now I do it. I usually kind of just like try not to form too many shapes. Try to like mix everything up. If you want a full video on like maybe texturing and like gradients and detail, let me know. I'm definitely down to make that if there's like an audience for it. So, you know, just texture everything. Going wall to wall here. Kind of takes a minute. Do the top tower as well. Texturing really like saves the build. It looks pretty bad if you don't texture it. But texturing and like, you know, everything else, all the small details and stuff to this build. Honestly, I think in my opinion, it's like top 3 or top 5 that I built for the series so far. You know, down below, let me know maybe what some of your favorite builds are from the series. Maybe like a top 5, maybe just a couple that you really like. Yeah, if you're a recurring viewer, of course. If you're new, obviously can't really know what they are, but yeah, if you drop some I like as well, maybe I'll build more like it. You know, finish texturing these towers here. Texture this like space at the bottom. I kind of forgot earlier. I get that space in the back there too that you kind of see that I missed. Tops of the towers and stuff, I kind of make some walls in there as well. Just kind of make it look a bit more like detailed, maybe a bit more run down. Get these like window flower pots in. Just because there's a lot of like space to fill. There's a lot of white, like kind of wall space I don't want to fill with like plants. So I get all these flower pots in. It's looking a little dark. I'll come back and get some lanterns in as well in a minute. I use stairs and trapdoors. I like a lot of the stuff you might see on the frame here. Kind of just round it out, make it look a bit less like angular. I personally really like it. I don't know. I feel like it just kind of adds a lot to the build. Just clean up the foundation here, get a few more flower pots in. Adding some like small details to the frame. Add these like trapdoors and stuff. Kind of make these towers like they actually belong here. Add some walls to them too. Come back to the front. Obviously, I'm sure you noticed the door is kind of off the ground, so I knew I was gonna have to build a porch. Just get like a simple porch in for now. Like I come back and actually, you know, work on the porch in a minute. But for now, I'll go back up, start texturing the roof because I figure the build kind of needs it pretty bad at this point. At first, I was gonna do a gradient with light blue, but decided to just stick with cyan. You know, just cyan, concrete powder. It's really like, it's kind of surprising how much you could do with just those 3 blocks. You know, just wool, concrete, and concrete powder. I feel like it really does a lot for the build. Makes it look a lot less plain, got a lot more finished, detailed. So I just bring these blocks everywhere. Tops of the tower as well. With these towers, it's actually the tallest building I built for the series so far, which I think is pretty cool. I come back after. I don't think it captures in the replay. I put lanterns on top of them, just like a little touch. Soul lanterns, because they're blue. I think it looks pretty good, and it also officially takes it over the height of, I forget which house it is, but one of the previous few houses. The one with the crane, which has now been passed. Come back down here. I'm liking the way the house itself looks. It looks really good in my opinion. But there's, some landscaping stuff and some like work to do with the porch. Changed it out for dark oak. I just kind of like the way it looks better. Most of that gets covered anyway. I don't cover the porch. I think it looked, in my opinion, better to be able to see the kind of front of this house because it's got these like white walls, like a large door, kind of like a nice frame too. So I don't want to cover it. I go around and I fill these flower pots up. A lot of red. I just kind of like the way the red looks. I think it matches well with the cyan. Kind of adds a bit of contrast to it. Some pink and stuff too. It's mostly rose bushes, berries, tulips, and like poppies and stuff. But there's some cherry saplings in there, some like lilacs, I think those are. Liking the house so far. Get some lanterns in, some flower pots too. I come back and fill these in a second. Just kind of getting them like the blocks down first. Some lanterns at the top as well. The shaders I use, which are rethinking voxels, I get a lot of questions about that. But like they leave very harsh shadows, which is that's why I like them. But it just means that I need a lot of lanterns around to kind of like make the space not very dark. So I get a bunch of lanterns, a bunch of flower pots, fill the flower pots up, clean up the porch a bit more, add some trapdoors, like a railing here, I guess. Kind of bring this landscaping up to cover the fact that I don't really like the way that staircase came out on that side, but you can fix it with just landscape. Under the porch here, I just put a bunch of like leaves and grass, kind of make it look overgrown. Because like you wouldn't really maintain underneath the porch. I got a path, it's a really simple path, of course. I mean, you can't really do anything too crazy with it. Some leaves, I mix oak and like azalea. Just kind of for some like shadows and like lighting in the leaves. Get some grass and ferns around. Some tall grass, obviously. A couple like fences around the path. It's really it for like the house itself and the exterior. I put some rose bushes around. And then someone in chat suggested that I build a custom tree. Because apparently I'm the custom tree goat, Self-proclaimed, I guess. Nah, people in chat wanted a tree. Build a tree here. Mix some different types of leaves in. Pretty happy with how it came out. Pretty simple tree. Like, I don't do anything too crazy. Like, it's just a pretty simple tree. Azalea at the top kind of looks like sun, I guess. I forget where I saw that. It's a cool trick. Finally head inside. Have an interesting interior. Earlier in the stream, Aelic, who's, the one this house is dedicated to, kind of mentioned that it'd be pretty cool to have like a really tall ceiling in this one, which I definitely agreed with. So I spent like a minute here just cleaning everything up, kind of making it symmetrical. Just like, because when you're building, you misplace a lot of blocks on the roof and stuff. So just clean it up for a minute. So I'm left with this like very large space. Kind of decided this is like basically the only place I really can put a kitchen. So I put a kitchen in here, get the fridge, of course. I purposefully don't center this because I feel like it looks better not centered, but I do come back and center that like log in the middle there. So it lined up better somewhere else. Get the carpet in, texture the carpet. Get these like railings for like this kitchen section. Get a dining table. Put a couple like candles and flower pots around. This like entrance rug area. Gets around the loft. I knew I wanted a loft because I needed somewhere to have a bedroom. Wasn't really any room for it. At the bottom. Get a quick loft, just a bed, kind of like some bookshelves. Like a desk, and like a azalea plant. I decided to do something kind of weird. I put a second loft, like a weird double loft kind of thing on this left side. I really like the way it looks. I think it's like a really interesting kind of part of the interior. Something I've never done. Usually I have one loft, but the loft has like a loft, so I think it's pretty cool. Head down here to the bottom, like a reading space, like a lectern and stuff. And now it's just kind of about like finishing this up, filling the space up, making all the walls pretty detailed and stuff. So I got a lot of lanterns around, a lot of paintings. Just, one of the challenges with like a single large open room is like you kind of have to still fill the space up and like figure out a thing to put on all the walls. So, I get these like support beams up so I can put like plants on them, lanterns. Chat really wanted a chandelier. I've never built one in my life. I don't think this is like a particularly great chandelier. It's very simple. I just put like fences, a couple candles on top too. I like these lanterns. Messing around with like floating candles. I don't personally like the way it looked in there, but I definitely get the idea with it. So I switched the lanterns out for soul lanterns. I just feel like it matches the color scheme more. I think it fits pretty good. I really like the way it looks. Kind of lines up with this like large stained glass window too, so you can see it really well from the front. Some more paintings over here on the right. Put a few more paintings around in different spots. Come outside here. Just do a couple more like small cleanup detail things. Like, you know, azalea there. I put a sign dedicating it to Aelic, who again, like I said, donated money during the stream. But if you want a house dedicated to yourself, join the Patreon down below for just $3 a month. You get access to like 80 houses now for just $3. And, you know, I really appreciate the support. Yeah, that's about it though. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, join the Discord as well down below. If you want to upload notifications and like, you know, stream notifications. Here's a quick walkthrough, and yeah, I'll see you guys next one.